Once you understand the basics of Excel, it isn't too difficult then to be able to go in and start entering formulas. Now, formulas allow you to be able to take the numbers that you've entered into Excel and be able to sort them, filter them, add them, subtract them, divide them. Just about anything that you can think of, you're able to do by manipulating that data. This tutorial will guide you through the steps on how to create the basic formulas in Excel. So we're going to be talking about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and be able to put a formula together that is a through statement. We're going to start off pretty basic, but these should be able to get you through most of the demands that you're going to be needing for Excel.
Alright, let's start adding some formulas to our Excel document. You'll see I've put an Excel document together with a bunch of different students and some scores that they've received on assessments that they've taken. You'll also see that we're being concerned with only a few different types of functions that we're going to be using. We're going to be worrying about addition, which is a plus sign, subtraction, which is a minus sign, multiplication, which is an asterisk, division, which is a forward slash, and through, which is a colon. Now, let's create some formulas. To engage our formula function, we first need to click in a cell, because you've got to have something that you've got to be able to enter in, and then you just click your equal sign. And you'll see we have now engaged our functions on the top. So we come up in here and we are going to just worry about sum. Now you'll see there's a lot of different functions you can use, and these are only some of the ones that begin with an S, but there are literally hundreds of different functions that you can use in Excel. So now we want to start adding a formula to it. So I'll put in a left parenthesis, and I would like to know what the sum of, let's see, we'll go E2 through I2. So let's just add those numbers together. So I go E2, I'm going to use my colon because I'm going to go through with this instead of adding a whole bunch of plus signs, and I'll show you what that does to in here in a little bit, and I2. So I go I2. Now I'm manually typing these answers, or this formula. So I hit my enter, and you'll see it just added those. Now what we could also do is we could go the long way with it. So we want to activate our function, which is the equal sign. We type in sum, and you could have also gone E2 plus F2 plus G2 plus H2 plus I2. So you could go the long way with this, hit my enter key, and that also pops up. That's a long way to do it, but there are people who do it that way also. And there's another method that we could use for entering the addition formula, and I'm just going to click in cell N2 here, activate my function, which is the equal sign. I'll type in sum and my left parenthesis. Now I can come up here and I could click in cell E2, and if I wanted, I could go in the lower right corner, grab it, drag it over, and let go, hit my enter key, and there it also has added all of those numbers together. That can be a quick way. It has goofed some people up in the past, I've experienced, but there's three different ways that you're able to add numbers. Now let's subtract. So I'm going to engage my function, start putting in a formula. So I'm going to put in sum because I want you to get used to entering something before your parenthesis, and let's subtract H3 from I3. So I'm going to go H3 minus I3, my right parenthesis, and there we go. I just subtracted those numbers. So H3 minus I3 should equal 53. Alright, now let's say we want to multiply some numbers. I've clicked in my cell right here, and let's say we want to multiply these two numbers right down here, these two cells we want to multiply. I have to activate my function first of all, which is the equal. Now I'm going to start putting in my formula. So I'll go sum, left parenthesis, we'll go H15, and we want to multiply, so I'm going to put in an asterisk, and I want to multiply I15. Hit my enter key, and I have now just multiplied those two numbers. Not very difficult to do. You see, you just enter in what the mathematical symbol is inside of your formula. Let's try the same kind of thing with division down here, and let's just do the same thing. So we activate our function with the equal sign, and I'm going to go sum, left parenthesis, H15 divided by I15. I can hit my enter key, and there we go. I just divided those numbers. And then through, you saw me do that up on top, but let's, how about if we do a column here? So what I'm going to do is equal sign to be kicking in my function to enable me to start doing a formula. I'm going to put sum, left parenthesis, I'm going to click up on the top up here, and I'm going to drag all the way to the bottom. I let go, and hit the enter key, and it will now have added all of these numbers. You look at it, the sum of I2 through I15, and it just adds those numbers together. Now sometimes people will ask me, well, what if I want to be able to skip over some rows or skip over some columns? And that's quite easy also. So let's say we want to multiply some numbers. I'm going to just come over here and I'll go in this cell. This is just an arbitrary cell. It doesn't mean anything. This is just where I'm clicking. Let's say we want to kick in our function. I go sum, and now we're going to multiply some numbers. How about if we want to multiply this number? Then I can go my asterisk. Now I'm going to hold down my control key. I'm going to click down here. Going to do my asterisk. I'm going to hold down my control key again, and then I can just choose another cell. So notice I can choose any cell I'd like just as long as I hold down my control key. Click enter, and it will multiply those numbers. The beauty of being able to go by cells rather than worrying about the individual numbers, you're only concerned about what number happens to fall in a cell, is that you can change these numbers at any time you like, and it will automatically change over here. So you'll remember we went E2 through I2 up here. How about if we change this 77, and I'm going to just change that number to 99. Now watch when I hit my enter key what happens right over here. See how it automatically changed? That's why you don't enter the individual numbers in. You just enter in the cell number, and you will have items changing all over your spreadsheet automatically. You don't have to recreate the formula every time. And that's how you're able to quickly and easily use addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and through.